Since it looks like abortion is going to be made illegal again, at least in about half the states of the United States, some people who believe in legal abortion, Alyssa Milano, Bette Midler, and recently, I think, Joy Behar, have called for a sex strike. In other words, they've called for abstinence from heterosexual activity, which a lot of people on the other side have pointed out they've been for abstinence all along because abstinence is the best way to ensure a woman doesn't get pregnant. Now, when we say abstinence, what are we talking about? You know, I guess we're talking about abstinence from vaginal intercourse because it wouldn't necessarily have to mean abstinence from any partnered sexual activity since a lot of it doesn't, lead to the woman getting pregnant. And it certainly doesn't need to be abstinence from having orgasms because, virginal teenage girls might be some of the most orgasmic. Now, the thing about that, though, is realistically, what are the chances of a sex strike succeeding? I mean, it's really the whole idea of Liz Estrada is that it was a comedy written thousands of years ago. It wasn't something that really happened. Sex strikes, when they actually occur, tend to be within marriage or within committed relationships, and they tend to be over issues that are quite personal. Now, and if they are successful, they also tend to be about issues that are quite personal and easy to resolve. For example, it's usually the female who goes on sex strike, but occasionally it can be the man. This woman wrote an article. She wanted about how she liked having armpit hair. Her boyfriend didn't like her having armpit hair. So he told her, well, you can have your armpit hair or you can have sex with me, but you can't do both. And she very reluctantly shaved her armpit hair. Now, but usually it is a woman, and it's a married woman, and her husband has bought something that she thought was a waste of money. Her husband is not doing his fair share of the household chores, and so she goes on a sex strike, and it's not that hard to resolve something like that. Basically, the man usually goes without sex for a very limited period of time, a week or 2 weeks. He takes the item back to the store, brings the receipt back, and celebrates. Or he leaves up post-it notes around to remind him to do his, household chores, and then he celebrates. So a sex strike isn't necessarily a bad idea per se, but on a micro scale it might work, but on a macro scale it's not realistic. And I hope you enjoyed what you heard and saw, and will subscribe to my channel.